Whew. Yes, Lord. I just woke up from the nap of life. And I'm finna get on drugs. Yeah. Mika's treats, you know you ought to be wrong for sending somebody, and you sent me 2 of these. And this how much I don't ate out, y'all. All I get, real talk, when you're messing with this, all you need is about this much. This all I eat, about this much right here. And then life just goes to hell after this. Now look, get them over there. The link is down at the bottom. Somebody said call Betty Ford. Call that hoe in. The link is down at the bottom of the screen, guys. Use promo code Funky2020 to get 20% off of all things Mika's Treats. I went to the mailbox today, and I had a box outside. Didn't even know. Mika sent me 2 more packs of Jolly Ranchers. This the mixed bag. This is just the all fruit punch kind. I'm gonna try these tomorrow, let y'all know how they are. Y'all, I swear by these drugs I'm on. You got me. Call Betty Ford. We finna pour some of this Deer Park water in this plastic cup, and we finna get this show started. I'm finna be high and hydrated. All right, y'all. Let's not forget, if you are going with us to the Dominican Republic and you plan to go with us to the Dominican Republic, at this point in the game, you have to pay for your room in full or pay for your trip in full. Again, the trip is on average about $1,000 divided by 2 plus your flight. So when I say to y'all, oh, if you're going right now, you got to pay in full, don't freak out. I'm not trying to count nobody's pockets, but in the grand scheme of going on vacation, you and your homegirl Tamika coming up with $500 a piece. That's not a woe, it's me, girl. We ain't got enough time to pay it off. Plus your little flight, Those of y'all that got y'all flight for Dominican Republic already, y'all drop down in the chat and tell me how much y'all paid for y'all flights. I just want to get a little piece of curiosity so I can tell the people what it's looking like for them getting ready to go on Dominican Republic. Oh, and I am going to try to have some Mika's treats for everybody that go into Dominican Republic with us. I'm going to try to have Mika. Michelle B, if you listening or if you watching the show, please work out some type of deal with Mika for her to be a sponsor. I want everybody high on the trip. Some of the girls said $245, somebody said $850, somebody said $2,000 first class. I hope you coming from somewhere far. Somebody said 2,000. The person who said I thought it was 1K per person. No, it's not 1K per person. It's 1K for the room, and that's divided by 2. Somebody said they paid $467 round trip. Oh yeah, the Federalis is gonna get us. That's right, y'all. We probably should travel with this to the Dominican Republic, but we definitely gonna have it down to the cruise. Okay. Y'all just bring y'all behind. Yeah, I ain't gonna bring it to the Dominican Republic, but we're gonna have it down to the cruise. I'm still gonna bring it a little bit. I'm gonna bring it a little bit. I might not bring nothing. I'm getting high already. I might not bring none for everybody, but I'm gonna bring it a little bit. Okay. They say you can't take it. Well, somebody say Funky. I was fired today, so I'm now part of that 300,000 black women. A girl like me already had a side job. I can work more in interviews pending in case. Well, smart woman Tatiana W 2024. Shouts out to you, and the Funky Bunch is extending you all our hopes, dreams, wishes, and prayers during this trying time. All right, guys. We're going to get into a relatively political corner story today, and this story comes from a teenager who is suing Buffalo Wild Wings because she was forced to prove that she was a female, saying that she showed her breast to stop being accused of being in the incorrect restroom. She didn't even say sorry. Take a look.
We went in there and right away, the people were just like rude. Like they gave us our menus, didn't even tell us Happy Easter when they were telling everybody else Happy Easter. And the whole time she was just looking at us, giving us dirty looks and talking to her workers, like whispering and stuff about us. So I definitely will never go back there.
This case is not a surprise. It's just a sign of the times and what's happening. And that's super frustrating and a little scary.
Jerica is pretty easygoing. She's very easy to feel comfortable around, kind to people. When she told me what happened, I felt enraged. It was cruel and humiliating.
So our client Jerica, she was at Buffalo Wild Wings with her friend and they were just enjoying dinner. And Jerica had to use the bathroom, so she went to use the women's room as she always does. And her waitress came in, banged on the stall door, accused her of being a man or a boy in the women's room, forced her out of the stall, and eventually made her unzip her hoodie to show that she has breasts. She was wearing a shirt, but that she wasn't allowed to leave the bathroom until that happened. It's really upsetting. It should never happen to anyone. Our client's only 18 years old. She's still in high school.
This wasn't the first time something like this happened, but
Jerica, let me tell you something, baby. You don't know how magical it is to obtain enough money at 18 years old to get you through a lifetime, baby. I need you to dry your tears. I need you to stop upsetting your makeup and disturbing your tears, honey. I need you to not let this one situation define your entire life, because baby, you about to get paid. You about to be paid down to the ground, and you 18. But baby, when you turn 23, no shade, you gonna be happy that shit happened to you. When you turn 30, you gonna be happy that shit happened to you. When you turn 35, you gonna be happy that shit happened to you. And when you turn 40, you my age, bitch, you gonna be real happy that shit happened to you. Now listen, I understand that it's traumatic. I understand that, nobody should have to go through that, and I all understand that. But in terms of, and I'm sorry, call me ignorant all y'all want, in terms of her about to end up being rich just for a little bit of humiliation and flashing some titties, bitch, it feel well worth it to me, bitch. It feel, baby, let me tell you something, Jerica. When you carry your ass down there to that courthouse, you better be that bitch lover and her secretary working every day of the week. You better cry and be traumatized. Baby, you better not be able to tell your up from down, and you better be sobbing and consoling me, baby. But I'm going to tell you something, Jerica, and I'm just giving you some grown lady advice from somebody grown out in these streets. Like my grandma say, my grandma used to always say, if you think you going through something right now, keep living. If you think you going through something right now, keep living. And while I am super upset that this happened to this girl, right? I'm super upset that this happened. It's traumatizing and all of that. And I ain't trying to trivialize what happened, but the amount of money you about to get paid for what you experienced, I think all of us in the over 40 crew would sign up for it. I'm just saying. I hope this comedic relief bring you and your family a little bit of laughter. But girl, you about to get paid for showing your titties. Scrippers is going down there and doing that every night and coming home with $80. And you about to come home with 80 million for showing. Girl, sign me up. I'm so ready for somebody to sexually confuse me down to the bathroom. I am so ready for somebody to sexually confuse me down to the bathroom. Baby, I'm so ready for somebody to racially profile me down to the Cracker Barrel. I don't know what to do, bitch. I'm tired of working. Working is ghetto. I am so tired of damn working. But I want to tell y'all this one thing, and because I'm borderline starting to get high, I'm finna say it just to antagonize some of y'all. Forgive me for it tomorrow. And y'all may not want to hear it, especially those of you women who are you're just not with the transgender thing, right? Unfortunately, no fault of your own, You didn't ask for it. You feel like trans women and women should not even be a part of the conversation. I understand all of that. But unfortunately, trans women have, as a category of people, have now appeared in our society. And even though biological, real women, natural women didn't ask for it, their struggles are now becoming your problem. The struggles, even though y'all didn't ask for it, the struggle of the trans woman and the discrimination against the trans woman and trans people in general is now becoming y'all problem. Okay? And there are two ways to be in this situation. The easiest thing to be is upset. The easiest thing to be is upset. And perhaps you're warranted in being upset. That's not for me to decide. And the second thing to be in this situation is an agent of change and to be anti-transphobia, because even though y'all didn't ask for it, even though y'all did not ask for it, even though some of y'all don't agree. So somebody says, how? Miss Katie, you're saying, how has it become y'all's problem? Did you just miss the story? A natural born biological woman just went to the ladies' bathroom, and because people are so transphobic and on a Salem witch hunt for trans people, a biological, natural, real woman got swept up in the madness. That's how it's become y'all problem. And y'all really not going to like this one. But the darker skinned you are, and the more African features you may carry in your face in conjunction with darker skin, makes it even more your problem. You didn't ask for it. It's not fair. You know, I'm not being shady in this moment, but those of you women who have that face where as a kid people say you look like a man, or like even now people say you look like a man, and I hate to even throw Michelle Obama in the mix. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but people who have that aesthetic structure that she has, where it's easy for somebody to say, oh, you look like a man, even though you're not, transphobia has now become your problem. Because all it takes is the assumption that you are for you to wreak all the havoc from people who are anti-trans and transphobic. Somebody said handsome women. Those of you women who are handsome. They said Cheryl Underwood. We finna lighten this thing up. Drop down in the chat and give us examples of, you know, handsome women. They said Tiana Taylor. Y'all not finna do that. Y'all not finna do my girl like that. But y'all drop down. If you look like any they say Jess Hilarious. Oh, really her? That's why she got a problem with the trans down to the ground. Serena Williams, Wendy Williams. The people said Lotto. The people said Grace Jones. The people said Leslie Jones. The people said Viola Davis. The people said China the people said some more. The people said Cheryl Lee Jones. The people said Brittany Griner. The people said Grace Jones. The people said J.K. Rowling. The people said Angela Bassett. The people said Venus Williams, all of Williams. The people said Whoopi Goldberg. The people said Nene. The people said Chance the Rapper wife. The people said Evelyn Lozada. You see what I'm saying? If Queen Latifah, okay, Nicole Murphy, Tamika Tiny Harris, Sierra before the surgery, Jennifer Aniston, Tokyo Tony. They said the whole Real Housewives of Atlanta. The people keep putting Lotto in the thing. Michelle Obama, OG, Omari Hardwick wife, Lena Waithe, MC Light, Clarissa Shields. The people said Coco from SWV. The people said Tina Knowles. Now stop it. Macy Gray. Why is the people saying Tamar? Why is the people Alicia Keys? Why is the people saying Ming Lee, Terry Crews' wife, Takashi, all of them? I know we being funny to prove a point, but you know, some of y'all women who they say y'all look draggy. Y'all remember Pooh from Love and Hip Hop? They said Pooh looked draggy. If you look draggy, bitch, you might get dragged out the bathroom. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. In this next story, I'm finna let y'all know in advance, I'm not protecting black women. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with Ari Lennox. I'm about to let her ass have it. I am so sick and tired of Ari Lennox and her complaining ass spirit. Ari Lennox says she watched a Bernie Mac special and his jokes made her feel uncomfortable. Take a listen.
And I like to think, hell, I just watched the Bernie Mac stand up a few years back and I understand why he is a legend that he is, but I also couldn't help but to feel uncomfortable about some of his jokes too. I like to talk, y'all, and I like to think, hell, I just watched.
Let me see how old Ari is. That girl is 34 years old. Okay, I mean, she's right on the cusp of like still young, but too damn old. Ari Lennox complains about every damn thing. First, it was the Martin jokes. It was the whole Martin and Pam jokes. Now it's Bernie Mac. And the thing about it is, Ari, nobody asked you for any of this. See, here is the beauty of the black comedy circuit then and now. Especially then. On the black comedy, somebody says she's the friend that's too woke. The beautiful thing about the black comedy circuit, especially during those Def Comedy Jam days and the days when Bernie Mac and DL Hughley and all of them were coming up, Ari, and maybe you weren't old enough to realize it, love, whatever you were feeling, everybody felt, baby. Everybody had their turn at being made felt uncomfortable. Woman, children, gays, fat, skinny, light skin, dark skin, bald headed, long hair, biracial, too pretty, look like a man, rich, poor. There was nobody who did not leave a comedy show who nerve did not get poked just a little bit. Everybody nerve got poked. And if they didn't poke you, they poked your mama, your best friend, your daddy, your children, everybody, Ari, everybody left feeling uncomfortable. Everybody left the comedy show not being able to wait until the comic moved on from that particular joke because it was tap dancing on your nerve too bad. Everybody went to the comedy show and was nervous as hell about sitting in the first visible roles that the comedian could see from the stage because, baby, the adrenaline of it was fun, but you also didn't want to be singled out and talked about and it be immortalized on film. Like Ari, y'all young hoes be walking around thinking y'all special in y'all pain and special in y'all discomfort, and you're not. And I don't think what you're understanding and what's not connecting with you, Ari, and what is about to alienate you from a huge part of your audience. A huge part of your audience is our resilient black women. And while I don't speak for black women, and I am not a black woman, I have observed enough black women to know black women as a whole are far more resilient than this, Ari. And you are about to lose relatability with your core audience. Black women don't like this level of complaining, and I ain't no black woman, and I ain't qualified to speak for one. I don't represent all black women, but I'm here to let you know from what I observe as somebody who gets to play around in the Black woman community quite often, is that as a whole, this is not the position of average Black women, and Black women are very resilient. This is crazy. And then I feel like you're saying you're uncomfortable on one token, but you are making your life even more difficult by publicly coming after people who Black people covet. I'm sorry, Black people, the delegation of gay, straight, Black, and toxically masculine Black people will not accept any think pieces, debates, or literature disparaging Bernie Mac or Martin Lawrence. We're not open to entertaining it. We are not open to having any, especially when it comes to Bernie Mac. We don't want to have no conversation about what his marriage may or may not be. Ain't no outside children better poke up. We not interested in seeing no mug shots of Bernie Mac. We don't care about no felony he may or may not have gotten when he was 16 years old. We're not interested, not when it comes to Bernie Mac. We are not. So Rosa Melendez said, oh, come on, Rosa. I love a good challenge. I love when y'all do this. So Black women can't have feelings now. So first of all, we're not talking about Black women as a collective. We're talking about one person. All right. Y'all love doing this. Y'all love taking an example of one person and want to make it seem like somebody's attacking the whole group. Black women are more than allowed to have feelings. They're allowed to have feelings down to the ground. But what you're not allowed to do is have them hoes publicly about people we love over some bullshit. That's what you're not allowed to do. Black women's, yellow women's, terracotta pot women's. What you're not allowed to do, Black women, is be mentally disturbed in the head, try to pass that shit off as normalcy and want the rest of us to be upset as a part of your delusion. No, Black women are not allowed to do that. Neither are white women, Chinese women, fruit jelly colored women, or terracotta clay colored women. No, you're not. You're not. You're not Rosa Melendez. And if you do have these type of feelings, have them hoes in privacy. If you do have these types of feelings, be a decent Black woman and have them hoes in privacy. Have them in privacy. No one cares. Take it to your prayer group. I'm a whole gay man right now. The internet would lose its mind if I got on here talking about, as a young gay boy growing up, that milk and cookies joke that Bernie Mac told really disturbed me, and it turned me off from the whole Kings of Comedy because I'm being gay bashed in the greater world. And Bernie Mac helped me discover that being Black was being Black and gay was being less than amongst African American men, and that I would never be accepted amongst straight men. And then for me to look out in the audience and see so many Black women who I thought were put on this earth to nurture me, laugh at the milk and cookies joke, just made me really feel low as a gay man. Because if I can't turn to the Black woman to love me and support me and to nurture me, then what is she here for? The day I saw the milk and cookies joke and I saw so many Black women laughing, that was the day I knew that no Black woman was an ally to the LGBTQ community, that they were equally as hateful and they were my enemy as well, along with toxic Black. You see what I just did? You see that? You see that, Miss Girl, who said Black women can't have feelings? And no. Y'all, milk and cookies was iconic. Him downstairs. And the little motherfucker talking about him down. Who is him down? Him downstairs. I came downstairs to get some milk and cookies. I said what? I came downstairs to get some milk and cookies. Listen. Okay? Is it uncomfortable? Absolutely. Is it uncomfortable watching TV and being in a room full of friends and family members who are all laughing at a caricature of how I show up in the world? It absolutely is hilariously uncomfortable. All right. And could be considered a bonding moment and a cultural rites of passage by a lot of people's definitions. And guess what, Ari Lennox? I survived. See, I think, and I saw it best on a British political commentary one time, and I think a lot of people have life really confused. No one promised you a life without offense. And I think that's what younger people don't understand. Nobody promised you a life without offense. And somehow or another, you guys have co-opted criminality. And somehow you guys have conflated offense with something criminal. No one is entitled to live their entire life without being offended. And as soon as y'all realize that, the better off life will be. You see how old girl Rosa went off the deep end talking about, so black women are not allowed to have feelings no more, baby. You're the Ari Lennox type. You just sitting up somewhere ready to be mad. That's what you need to be addressing. Not trying to create a dissertation around can black women have feelings or not. You need to be more worried about why you are so willing to walk through life on a daily basis and be so easily damn offended. That's the real question. I wish I would be walking through my house, holding a cup, drinking some damn juice. I'll walk past the TV and see a comedy special and let a bitch upset my makeup and disturb my tears. What is wrong with you? And if it made you so uncomfortable, girl, then why did you continue to sit through it and watch it? Trauma porn. Here's what happened when you get offended. Here is what happens the next time you get offended. Y'all ready? Absolutely nothing. The next time you get offended, this is really literally what you do. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. I'm offended. Now I got to go pay my T-Mobile bill. That's it. That's how you deal with offense. That is how you deal with offense. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. I'm offended. My check engine light on. Let me take my car to Pep Boys. You ready? Let me show you how to do it one more time. Ooh. And like if for extra dramatic effect, you could be like Loretta Devine and be real breathy. Oh, I'm offended. 1, 2, 3. I'm also late for work. Let me go to work. That's how you deal with offense. All these think pieces, all these I got to get on a podcast, girl, don't nobody care. And last but not least, you will survive. No, if any one of y'all show me a medical record of somebody who died from offense, I give you $1,000. You can email it to me right now. Nobody ever died of offense. You will be all right. I think it's so weak when people walk around like, I'm offended, girl. Die somewhere, not Ari, but just people in general. All right, y'all. Speaking of offended, this shit is offending me. Wendy Williams will reportedly stay in guardianship following a recent medical exam that re-diagnosed her with dementia. According to a legal document obtained by People, Wendy underwent an evaluation which reportedly included medical and neuropsychological tests and brain scans. Following evaluations, doctors concluded that Wendy still has several neurological issues. Sources tell People she was re-diagnosed with frontal lobe dementia and aphasia, the same disease she was originally diagnosed with in 2023. Due to her illness, she cannot be let out of her guardianship at this time. Sabrina Morrissey has reportedly asked the judge if she can retain guardianship over Wendy at least until November 5th. Here is my problem. What's the significance of November 5th? What is the significance of November 5th? All right. Here is the other thing that I'm not understanding. And this is how you know that this situation with Wendy Williams is a scam that these people are benefiting from. Follow me here. All things constant, there is not a law office or any type of reputable business that would voluntarily sit through this level of bad press if they were not gaining anything. From the moment Sabrina Morrissey became Wendy Williams' guardian, she and the organization that she works for and represents has been dragged through the mud from the beginning. It would seem to me, if I was a principal or a partner at that company, I would be like, we need to stop the bleeding. We need to do something to keep other people from not wanting to do guardianship with us. This level of press is tarnishing our reputation. People don't think we're capable. People think we are stealing. Who would allow their company to just sit there and take this level of a beating in the press if they were not financially gaining from it? There is something going on that has to be offsetting their ability to just sit through and weather the storm through all of this negative press. It would seem to me that if I was a partner, a principal, or an executive at the company, that I would have gotten sick and tired of the sleepless nights and the letters and the protests and people bothering me over one client. Over one client. It would seem to me that if I was the principal of a company, I would be so concerned about us losing all of our other clients because this has bestowed distrust in the public. But yet y'all still are fighting to hold on to this one client. Why are y'all fighting so hard for this one client? That's because y'all over there robbing this lady blind. And somebody needs to find out, why is Sabrina saying to the judge, okay, first of all, if I'm just a proxy, if I'm just here to appointed to be over a bitch and the bitch don't want me to help them, I wouldn't give a damn what a bitch did. Okay. Take it from somebody who is in a guardian positionship. Okay. I'm in a guardian position right now with my brother. And y'all should hear some of the knockdown, drag out conversations that I have to have with him sometimes. And oftentimes it goes, I have to remind his ass, you saying you not going to do this and you saying you not going to do that. I really don't give a damn because you ain't hurting me. That literally is your attitude, because in my mind, I'm like, little do you know, I'm around here doing your ass a favor. I ain't got no damn children. And the fact that you ought to be glad that somebody even willing to be guardian over this crap. That's the type of attitude you have when you somebody guardian. You don't really want too much confrontation from them. You don't, because this shit is a thankless job that impedes upon your ability to live peacefully. I'm telling y'all what the hell I know. I'm a guardian. And now medical proxy over my aunt. Don't nobody want to deal with this shit. Okay. Don't nobody want to deal with it. Baby, I wish I could offload this shit to somebody. Then you, baby. Oh, baby, you let a half a attorney call my phone talking about my brother don't retain them, trying to undo the guardianship. Baby, I've been on told this lady, baby, fax me where to sign so damn quick. Fax me where to sign. Fax me where to sign. Okay? Fax me where to sign, baby. I release this thing so quick. That's your attitude when you're a guardian. Not, oh my God, I'm going to fight harder to stay in the situation where the family don't want me. I could not imagine being a caseworker, a social worker, or a lawyer and walking into a situation where I'm supposed to be helping somebody and I don't have the support of the entire family. How do you sleep at night? And it's beyond obvious that you're not doing your job to the best of your ability, because if I was a guardian, if I was Sabrina Morrissey, what I would have been doing from the moment I took that job was try to make her family comfortable. That's how you play the long game, white bitch. I would have been going in there trying my hardest to make that family comfortable so their fears would be at ease, so they would let our company do whatever the hell we wanted to do with Wendy Williams and her money. Now that's how you show a bitch how to go down the slide. Baby, I would have been calling us, oh, sure, come get her. Come take her to get her hair done. Okay, now she can't stay out overnight, but come get her. Oh, sure. You want to take her to the Bahamas? Here she goes. She can't stay out more than 3 days, though. Make sure she's not drinking. Here are her meds. Make sure you take a picture and just let us know nightly that she's okay. By 9 o'clock, baby, I would have had them people so sold up in trust and would have been robbing the hell out of Whitney on the back end. That's how you do that. Now, I ain't never had to rob nobody through guardianship. All the people I'm guardian over ain't got nothing. They robbing my ass. But if I wanted to rob a bitch that I was guardian over, I would get the family to trust me. Hell, everybody could be bought. Bribe the family with their lady money. Do whatever you got to do to keep the family happy. Sabrina Morrissey. But no, baby, you white and entitled and feel like, how dare I be challenged by those nigresses? Baby, somebody said reverse robbery, baby. The nicer I would have been to the family, the more of that whole money I would have been siphoning off, honey. Okay, bitch, my name would have been damn Wendy Williams, as much of her damn money as I would have siphoned off. Baby, every time, baby, the daddy, and you know, talking to old people, baby, I'd have sent that daddy a $1,600 check on the first of the month. Baby, I'd have had that check so sold up to that daddy would have been like, leave him alone. Leave her alone. Leave Sabrina alone. So Wendy Williams' attorney is claiming that leaked medical records re-diagnosed her with dementia are false, since it's a tactic to keep Wendy in restrictive guardianship. He says, where is the actual medical report supporting the leak? So Joe Tacopina says the recent leaked medical reports of Wendy Williams' diagnosis are false, and they were concocted to keep Whitney trapped. Why do I keep calling her Whitney? Wendy trapped under her restrictive and excessive guardianship. He went on to claim that the leaking of the alleged diagnosis is a clear violation of Wendy's rights. The critical questions are these. Where is the actual medical report supporting the leak? And who is the doctor willing to go under oath and face cross-examination by me so the truth can be exposed? And that is the true tea. And this now judge or whoever signed off to keep her ass in guardianship, they need to be called into question too, or at least have Mr. Tacopina have his day in court. Because yes, we need to see the doctor's face. We need to see the actual medical report, not no leaked reports of what's going on. In the very beginning, guys, I thought that the general public and the people, I thought that we were doing too much. I did. I thought that we were crazy about the conspiracy to keep this lady in guardianship, but it has become beyond obvious at this point. Okay, I once was blind, but now I see. It has become beyond obvious that somebody needs to be investigated for racketeering and get hit with a RICO charge, because this is a racket that these people are running. The people involved with this are 100%. The people involved in this are 100% in cahoots with one another. They are 100% in cahoots with one another. Moving right along, in great consumer protection news, Spirit Airlines says it could be out of business next year due to financial struggles. Now, I have a very critical choice to make in this moment. I can choose to be classy based and pulled up and take the economic business CNN approach. Or I can drive this bus straight to hell in pure excitement and anticipation of this closing down, because I know that y'all cousins can't afford Delta and American flights where I'm at, so I don't have to worry about being cross-contaminated with hood boogers. Now, here's what the unfortunate thing is, right? we know that Spirit Airlines catches a bad rap. We know that Spirit Airlines catches a bad rap because they offer affordable flights, and affordable flights unfortunately attract people who are looking for affordability in a certain demographic of people. You know what I'm saying? And let me stop being politically correct and just say, Chad, the cheaper it is, the more hood Black people that's going to attend it. All right. But it also sucks because in the grand scheme of airlines, Spirit Airlines is a reputable airline that makes it very possible for a lot of people to travel. Spirit and Southwest, especially Southwest. Southwest, I'm sorry, this ain't got nothing to do with Southwest, but Southwest has an even better point system than Delta and American. You know, it's unfortunate, guys, to see Spirit Airlines going out of business. Yes, we would love to see less of Black people being represented in a ratchet ass way down to the Spirit Airlines, but that's not a Spirit issue. But, you know, this is going to impact. I'm just really concerned about the middle class or the lower middle class or the upper lower class Black family that needs to travel and get around, and they are able to do so because of airlines like Spirit. That's my only concern. Somebody said the Greyhound bus is still in business. Girl, as much as I don't want to participate in any level of classism, I am above the bus. Now that's just now. Baby, when we start talking about the Greyhound bus, and I ain't trying to offend nobody on here, baby, that's just a different level of poverty that I'm just not ready to succumb to. That's just a different level of poverty. Let me explain something to you. If I got to get on a Greyhound bus to go somewhere, I'm just not going. And God forbid it's a funeral. God forbid it's a funeral because the family just finna be mad with me. If I have to get on the Greyhound bus to go anywhere, I'd just much rather stay home. I'd just much rather stay home. Now, on my downest of days, I might could slide on through the mega bus if I absolutely had to, but baby, I can't mess with Miss Greyhound. Moving right along in some feel-good Black woman news, honey. Octavia Spencer is out here blessing the girls. She's blessing the girls. So Octavia Spencer secretly paid PowerBook's 2 stars Gianni Paolo's $5,000 a month publicist fee when he was in debt. She didn't ask for the money back. So Octavia Spencer, during an appearance on Harry Jowsey's Boyfriend Material podcast, Paolo revealed that after appearing in Power and filming Ma, he had $20,000 worth of credit card debt and couldn't afford a $5,000 a month publicist. I only made $6,000 on the movie. I'm just not going to get a publicist, he said. Before the Ma press tour, Spencer invited the cast to dinner. When Paolo explained his situation, she took action. She called her publicist and paid for it completely, then set me up with her whole team, she recalled. She didn't ask for the money back, never. Paolo said he repaid her after booking PowerBook 2 Ghost. Octavia to the rescue. What are your guys' thoughts on the touching gesture? This is so beautiful. This is beyond beautiful. This is beyond beautiful. So somebody said, why not pay off the debt? The debt wouldn't have helped him. Paying off the debt. So somebody said, why not just pay off the debt? He didn't have an issue with money going out. He had an issue with not enough money coming in. He didn't have it. The bills were not the money. The debt was not the problem. Even if she would have cleared the debt, he still would have been without a publicist and without a vehicle to make more money. It's that whole thing about feed a man, he'll eat for a day, teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. It's one of those things. If she would have paid the debt, he still would have been at zero. But she paid the publicist, which allowed him to get greater press, which allowed him to get greater jobs, which allowed him to make the type of money to then be able to afford the publicist on his own. It was more of a long-term strategy, and it was a very smart one. A lot of times people don't realize that the only difference between you and your big break and somebody else in Hollywood is because they had the right team. I'll tell you guys a really quick story. If it was not for Candy Burris, I wouldn't have landed the agent that I have in LA. I have a really good stellar agent that I've been with for a long time by the name of Tracy Christian. And the only reason at the level I was able to get connected to a high-powered Hollywood agent and still has one is because Candy was represented by Tracy at that time. And I needed a little bit of help with some contract stuff. And Candy called me and said, would you mind if my agent looked over this stuff or whatever? And Tracy did and you know, extended agency to me over me. And I'll forever be grateful because a lot of people without a connect are not able to get a good high level LA level publicist or agent. Not only did Octavia bless him by paying for it, she walked him into her publicist. That don't happen. You don't get to be a starter actor. You don't get to be last on the call sheet and then you share a publicist with Octavia Spencer. That ain't how that works. The publicist that represents Octavia Spencer is not interested in representing the little people down there who can't afford my $5,000 a month fee. They're not interested. So again, her making the connection and paying for it was far more valuable than paying the $20,000 debt. So shouts out to Octavia and bigger shout out to Gianni Paolo for recognizing what this Black queen did for you. Y'all, in more infuriating Sha'Carri Richardson news, the body cam footage of Sha'Carri's arrest has hit the net. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to leave you looking at Sha'Carri just a little twisted and side-eyed. Take a look.
But I had to put down. I'm so sorry. You're grabbing me right now.
Yep, you're under arrest.
I'm under arrest right now? What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for? Christian, are you serious right now?
Where you at?
Okay. I didn't assault him though.
We have video cameras.
I literally we were having an argument. I'm not resisting. So
At work.
We're harder. Christian, are you serious right now?
I'm doing the show.
Christian.
He doesn't get a say.
Yes,
but I understand. We were arguing.
right now.
But I understand entirely.
Nobody. I'm doing
we
the
were
show.
arguing. Okay. I'm not gonna resist, but I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that you guys are doing this to me, and he's the man in this situation.
The fact that you guys are doing this to me, and listen now. The fact, oh, excuse me, got my nose running. Excuse me. The fact that you guys, did y'all hear the entitlement that y'all have, ladies? The fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in the situation. Let me say that one more time. The fact that you guys are doing this to me and he is the man in the situation. The fact that you guys are doing this to me, that goes to show how a lot of y'all women think. You think that by virtue of you being born with a vagina, that it gives you license to walk around and hit men. And listen, I'm not mad with y'all per se, because there are a lot of things that men think that they have license to do by virtue of having a penis, and maybe automatically being given the benefit of the doubt in any domestic violence situation is just one of the perks of being a woman that we men just have to suck up. But you see, Sha'Carri, it got you nowhere. And then accountability is a lot of women's kryptonite, because you just sat up here and told them people to their face that you did not assault him. Then you lied and said you got a video on your phone that shows something different. The man is sitting here telling your dumb ass you in the middle of the airport with cameras and we seeing you and you steady saying no. And then you're going to talk and then you're going to say, really, Christian? Really? You going to let me get arrested? Mama, he didn't let you do anything. He's not even the one who called the police on you. And somehow or another, you found a way to make your behavior his fault. When you ought to be glad he didn't slap the shit out of you, quiet as it's kept. Really, Christian? Really? You gonna let them embarrass me? It's above him now. And how dare you? You can't be nasty and needy. You can't be nasty and needy. You can't have been in the airport pushing on me and then now want me to bail you out of a situation that you created. And Sha'Carri, this is why you keep losing. Because every time we are willing to extend a level of grace to you, and every time we just don't go in on you, and every time we think that you're coming along, you just do something to just kill our faith and really show just how freaking immature you are. And maybe we can't go in on people for being immature because a person can't help to grow up, but when they grow up, right? I'm pretty sure all of our parents would have preferred that we grew up at 18 or 21. Some of us grew up at 30. Some of us grew up at 27. So I guess it's not her fault that she is where she is mentally. But Sha'Carri, you got to find a way to grow up, so sis, and you got to find a way to grow up soon, because this level of reasoning that you possess, it's going to cause you to lose everything. This level of reasoning, and I hate to take it here, but it's that ghetto hood girl reasoning. He made me do it. Christian, really? You really gonna let them? You really gonna? Christian did not do anything wrong. I digress. Sha'Carri, I hope you learn before you lose. That's a full statement. I hope you learn before you lose. You have skated on hell's door too many times. I hope you learn before you lose. Y'all, this is a sad story coming out of the community. But a woman is charged for the death of a girlfriend and then assuming her identity, y'all, and she gets caught 18 years later. Take a listen.
A decades-old mystery is now a murder investigation as police charge a woman with killing her friend and stealing her identity.
So this case actually started in 2007 when Troup County authorities found human remains in a burning bag dumped on the side of the road. So it wasn't until 2023 DNA testing identified the victim as 24-year-old Nicole Alston. Last year, the Troup County Sheriff's Office arrested Angel Marie Thompson, charging her with concealing Alston's death, then assuming her identity and collecting benefits in her name for years. 11 Alive learned that she was booked again overnight, this time at the Fulton County Jail, on charges of murder and identity theft.
And a decades-old mystery is now a murder.
Can I say something with y'all? And I don't want to upset nobody. On a spiritual level, this is probably the best thing that ever happened to this lady, the lady that got arrested. Even though what she is about to go through right now on the outside is going to look like punishment, I am pretty sure there's probably a certain level of peace that this lady has gained when she went to sleep, knowing that she don't no longer have to carry this atrocious act. Hopefully, if she has a conscience. If this woman has a conscience, she is somebody now who's finally finna be able to get a certain level of peace. Just think about it. Me just being a person of good conscience, I couldn't carry that for that long. I couldn't carry it that long. Me personally, and maybe I'm projecting in this moment. I couldn't carry that long. And yeah, I probably would be walking this earth not wanting to get caught, but there probably would be a weird, sick, twisted sense of relief that would come over me after holding that for 18 years. That's a lot to carry. That's a lot to carry. But a lot of people are saying she don't have no conscience, you know, to go on and to be collected. You kill something, then y'all get crazy. Because I'm sure whatever benefits that you were collecting definitely were not worth running the risk of getting caught for murder. Okay. And that's probably how they caught your ass. They probably identified that damn body and saw that that person was still active in the system, and probably saw that that mail was still going to whatever, and your ass was catching it, and that's how they caught you. I'm not on mute. Whoever said unmute, I'm not on mute. Your line suspended. Sick, twisted, crazy, and can we just pray? All right, guys, we got another story coming out of Gladys Knight's camp, which is not the best, but speaking about being able to feel relieved, I had been sitting on some information for a while now, and since it's now public, I can speak on it. So, you know, the family of Gladys Knight is at odds over her safety, health, and her ability to keep touring. Last week, her son, Shanga Hankerson, claimed that the 80-year-old music legend is showing signs of cognitive decline and accused her husband, William McDowell, of elder abuse and alleging that he's forcing her to perform despite her condition. According to court filings, the conflict escalated after a troubling incident in a New York hotel where Knight allegedly wandered off late at night without knowing where she was. Her son spoke with Just 2 Ice, saying he's been locked out of speaking with her and has now gone to the Department of Human Services to intervene. The accusations have sparked heated debate amongst fans about elder care, family disputes, and pressures placed on aging performers. Now the public is left wondering, is this a misunderstanding fueled by family tension or a serious case of abuse hidden behind closed doors? All right. So here is where it gets personal for me, and here is where I'm now allowed to reveal some information. So when I went to the Queen's tour, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan, Stephanie Mills, I was in attendance with some very important high-ranking music executives. Those were the people that I ate dinner with prior to the concert and who I was in community with during the concert. And I noticed something with Gladys Knight on the stage, and one of the executives, who shall remain nameless, turned around and said, Q, she has dementia. Everybody, you know, behind the scenes knows that Gladys Knight is suffering with dementia. I don't know if y'all remember that I told y'all on the show, if you want to go see Gladys Knight, that this is probably one of the last times you're going to get an opportunity to see her. I was not going to use my platform to disparage the tour whatsoever, so I refrained from speaking on what I observed. Okay, but at the show in Tennessee, it was beyond obvious that Gladys Knight had dementia. She started singing Midnight Train to Georgia. She would sing the first 2 lines of the first verse, and then somehow or another, she ended up at the bridge. It would be time to sing the second verse, and somehow she ended up on the second line of the chorus. And it was beyond obvious that the background singers knew to just follow her. They just followed her wherever she went. And then after that, after she finished her set, it was time for her to get off the stage. And so you know how they play one of your songs as your intro and your outro music. She had just finished singing Midnight Train to Georgia. So they started playing the instrumental to Midnight Train to Georgia again. And she stood there and just started singing the song all over again. And the stage manager literally had to walk on stage, grab her by the hand, and walk her off the stage, because cognitively, she did not understand that it was time for her to get off and that her set was over. And anybody who went to the Nashville show, they can vouch. That is what we saw. That is what was going on. With that being said, I was not concerned with her performing because I thought maybe that was her happy place. And I thought definitely, maybe the right people were around her saying, let us go ahead and get this last huge injection of cash before she retires, because this is going to be a huge injection of cash for her. And maybe I will say this, while she was on the stage, she did not look abused. She looked like she was in the happiest of places she could be. With the exception of Midnight Train to Georgia, she sang everything else perfectly, and she didn't jump around. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's best for people with dementia, but I'm willing to bet her staying in her routine and staying within the confines of the things that she loves is probably much better than her sitting at home. The question is, and especially if she has a husband, then how is it possible that she was able to wander around in the middle of the night at a New York hotel and not know where she was at? Where was her husband? That's the bigger issue. And yes, even though Shanka is partially responsible for financial abuse and the non-payment of the taxes over at the Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles, this is the same son of the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Gladys Knight, whatever it is, Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles. Even though he was involved in all of that, he's got a point. Stepdad, where were you? Was you running around New York City with them loose women and them floozies? Where were you? Because you're supposed to be your wife's keeper, and you know what your wife's mental situation is. Where were you when she was walking around? That's all I got on it, y'all. We're going to end the show on a high note. I got 2 other stories, but I'm going to roll those to tomorrow. Anyway, y'all. I'm finna go get me something to eat. And I'll call y'all later. Bye. Ooh, excuse me, girl. Bye.